Hi, biology. So you can't see me today because I want you guys to be able to see the screen instead. Okay, so if you go under classwork, now some of you have done this already if you were in person today. If you're going to be here tomorrow, I can help you with this as well. This is more for the students that are not here either day. Go to your classwork tab, and you're going to click on the bacterial lab simulation data collection day. So you can see down here we have the growth simulator and then a document. So I want you to click on the Google Doc and go to it. All right, so this is the assignment for today. I'm going to read through some of this. Just going to look at it first. Okay. So use the table below that matches what traits you're wanting to manipulate for your lab simulation today. So basically what we're doing today is we're collecting data. We're going to use the data collected to make a graph, and then we'll write a paragraph about our graph after we make it. There are 4 independent variables that you can choose from. You have temperature, amount of substance A, amount of substance B, and duration of experiment. So an independent variable is what you manipulate or you change in the experiment. So it's what you're going to change the value of the temperature, or you're going to change the amount of substance, or the duration of the experiment. Now, what we're measuring is our dependent variable, and our dependent variable is the amount of bacteria that grows in a petri dish. And we're going to talk about how we're going to count the amount of bacteria that we have. Now, controlled variables. Your controlled variables are going to be these variables up here, the one that you are not manipulating. So I have some values down here that you can use, suggested values. Temperature 20 degrees, substance A is 5, substance B is 5, and then duration of experiment. You can pick how many days you want it to be. Now you'll notice that the longer the experiment is, the larger your bacteria size will be. Now, how do you count your data? So what we're quantifying, or what we're counting, is the amount of bacteria that's growing. So a small dot is going to have a value of 1. A medium dot will have a value of 2. And a large dot, we're going to give a value of 3. And before I go on, we're going to go to the simulator here. So I'm going to click Next and go to Simulation. Maybe. Okay, so I'm going to put in those values I wanted to change. So I'm going to put 20 degrees. Oh, not that. 20 degrees, 5, 5. And I'm going to do 1 day to begin with. Now down here where it says click to control the following variables, you want all of these to be check marked. If they're not, you can have some problems with your experiment. So I'm going to run the simulation. So I would call these small dots. So each of these dots would have a value of 1. So I can count them using this. So 1, 2, 3. So I have 21 small dots. So my bacteria count would be 21 for this. I'm going to go to 2 days, and we're going to compare to see how that changes. So run simulation. So I would call these more medium dots. So each of these dots would have a value of 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I have 18 dots. They're medium-sized dots, so I'm going to do 18 times 2. So I'd have 36, and that would be my bacteria count. Now we're going to do 3 days just to see. So after 3 days, you see there's a lot of overlap. I would call these large dots. So each of these I would give a value of 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I had 18 dots there. Now you notice some of them disappeared. That's actually a different type of bacteria. So what we can do here is we can count the orange dots that we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 3 would be 18. The other colonies were a different type of bacteria if you want to just keep with the orange dots. If you want to count all the bacteria, that's fine too. This is more open-ended. There's no right or wrong answer with this. I mean, I know what your values should be showing up, so you can't just make up the numbers, but if you want to count all of them, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so now we have an idea of what the sizes are and how we'll give them values. Now let's go back to this. So use the appropriate table below for your results. Hopefully, if you haven't done this yet, I changed the table a little where it should look like this. If your table does not look like this, please make it look like this. Add in through 50 degrees Celsius. I went ahead and put the zeros on this, and this is because temperature 0 to 10, bacteria is not going to grow, and above 45, bacteria is not going to grow. So that's why I have put in the zeros. So bacteria is only going to grow between 11 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius. You can see across the top we have 5 trials. This means you're going to run the simulation 5 times. You are going to count the bacteria for each simulation. You may have the same numbers, but you also might have different numbers. So please don't just assume the numbers are going to be the same. Actually run the trial 5 times. And then you're going to find your average. So how you find your average is you take all 5 numbers, add them up, and divide by 5, and you'll put your average in this column. So if you want to manipulate temperature, this is the graph that you will use. Now, temperature is not the only thing you can manipulate. You also can manipulate the amount of substance A or B, or the duration of the experiment. So this is a microliters on these. A microliter, that's a really small, it's 10 to the negative 6th. So just to compare, a milliliter is 10 to the negative 3rd, so it's smaller than that. Now, if you choose to use this one, you're going to change the amount of substance A or the amount of substance B. Just depends. I'm actually going to change these values. I'm going to put 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. So if you choose this, I'm going to add 35 and 40 and 45. I'm going to put my units, copy, paste, paste, and paste. Okay. So what this means for this one, if you choose to change the amount of substance, let's go back to our simulator here. I'm going to leave it at 20, amount of substance. So I'm going to manipulate substance A just for this scenario. I'm going to leave B at 5. I'm going to change to 1-day experiment and reset. Okay, so if I go back here, 0 microliters. So this is substance A. So I'm going to go back and make this 0, and I'm going to run my simulation. I would say those are all small dots, so I would count up my small dots. I would go back over here, type in the number of small dots, give my value, since we're doing this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I have 18 small dots, so I would put 18. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to reset and run simulation again. So you're going to do this 5 times. So you can see they grow differently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This time I have 21, so I would put 21. Okay, so that's just example. So what you'll do is each time you're going to change this one. You're going to reset, run your simulation, count your dots. Those are all small dots. Do that 5 times and you'll go to 10. So what we're doing is we are collecting data to make a graph. So again, you'll do that 5 times, 15. And as you keep going up, you'll see about the same things happening. If I get up here in value, you'll notice that the amount of bacteria that's growing is smaller, and that's because they're out competing. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. We're looking at the trends. So you can manipulate A or you can manipulate B. I'm going to go ahead and put A back to 5, and I'll do B this time just to see. Let's just compare, see what happens. Okay, so in that case, substance B, nothing grows. So it all depends on what you're manipulating. Let's try 35 just because we can. Okay, I'm going to change the duration of the dates just to see if it has an effect. All right. Okay, so there is a value that you will get bacteria to grow. But of course, they're going to be different. So that's that. You also can change the duration of your days, shorter of data collecting, but you do have the choice to do that. And you'll want to keep those parameters the same if you choose that. Okay, so you'll collect your data, fill it into your table, find the average for each one. Once you have your whatever independent variable you are measuring, either temperature or substance or duration, whenever you're done filling in your table, you will submit this assignment, and that will be it for today or for this assignment. We're going to use that data to make a graph. Please don't procrastinate. Please get this finished. I will see A through L tomorrow. Those of you that are in person learning, I am going to be showing you how to make a graph. So I am assuming you will have your data collected. So please try to do that. If you have trouble, please ask. You can do it. Okay. I'm going to clear this out. All right. So this is just walking you through how to read this information and how to do this. Okay, so you're just collecting data. All right. So that's it. Again, if you have questions, please let me know, and I'll see some of you guys tomorrow.